Andre says, do I play Spin Max? I have played them before. I don't play them at the moment, but I've played them a little bit. Spin and Go Max, obviously you don't have to worry, like, it's always funny, choose a payout and stuff, and they're even shallower, but you could make a small profit, I think. I just don't know how often the games run, but it would be interesting to experiment. Now he donks here, and we're super deep, and we have a hand that really doesn't interact with any draws or his King X, so I think we're just going to raise this hand. Maybe bigger? We do kind of want to keep a gut shot in though, so let's go 2.7. No idea what this donk means. First time happened. So it looks like that's just marginal then. Like if he's donk folding to that, he's not got open enders, he's not got flush draws, he's not got King X, he's not got 9X, I'd say even. Maybe fold just a weak 7X. But arguably it's more likely just to be just a gut shot or air. And so therefore we're going to drop it. Like that hand alone means we're going to drop our VPIP. Because our weaker hands will play worse when he's donking his air into us. Our stronger hands will really gain EV. If you imagine all your hands on a seesaw, right, with the EV swinging up and down, then when you see tendencies, imagine the value end jumps up and the weaker hands jump down in EV. And so that's how we're going to think about a bit about how things are adjusted. Here, for example, now if he donks again, we're just going to call. So we saw him donk with air. He might bounce it with 2x or whatever, but like we have a very easy call. We don't have to worry about too much about giving away EV or anything. We hope he just donks with just whatever, 10-7 with a heart or something. He bets 2 again. Again, we're just going to call and we're going to call down. Good luck. Yeah, block a bit of 5-3 if that's relevant. I'd just call here. Could have us beat, of course, but 4-3, alright, nice. Like the donk, and I tell you what else I like. The Fotzinator for the follow. Thank you very much, mate. We appreciate that. So we saw complete, yeah, that random garbage that he donked in, and we'll take a note of that hand that we saw. Turns out he could have actually had a hand. I'm actually going to limp King 3 rather than just shove it, because I don't mind limp folding it. When he checks here, like weirdly enough, it might mean that he has more air value on this board, but probably not on an A-side board. July says, do you have a limit of how much hours do you want to play every day? If I play poker, I get too much hyped and tilt so easy I can't handle how much I want to play. Maybe it's poker not for me then. So there's lots of things you can do with that. So some of the solutions, if you like, include taking a, let's say, making a max amount of hours per day. That's obviously something you can do to help you in that aspect. You can also, that's more sort of, let's say, putting a bandage on the problem rather than addressing that source. So right now you've got some, let's say, likely illogical ideas in your head when you play. So you get frustrated or you get very emotional, and that's stemming from potentially, could be a number of things, but potentially things like injustice. So you have a good hand, it gets cracked, and you go, well, that's not fair. You know, fairness is a real thing that angers us at times. And you really have to then construct what exactly is going on in your mind to feel like that's unfair. What is this fairness that you've created? Is it fair that he has a6? Is it fair hit trip 10s? This is all stuff that we create. You know, there's no such thing in poker runouts as fair. They just happen. And the emotional responses we have to them are our emotional responses, and we are in control of those. This takes time, but the more you do it, the more that zen and calm and focused you can become in these situations where long term it's all about decisions. It may be that if that journey, if you like, is too difficult to go through, poker may not be for you right now. Or it may be that poker helps you take steps that help you in other areas of life. And so a lot of good poker players are often very resilient to life variance because they understand that random things happen. And so if your car breaks down or something, a lot of people get very frustrated about that. Most poker players I meet are like, oh yeah, car broke down. Like, it happens. Nothing you can do. And so it doesn't just help your poker. I think adopting this philosophy can help you in a much wider setting. I hope that helps. Latsune said, ¿Qué pasa, Tomo? Buena suerte, bienvenido. You brought some luck for us. Thank you very much. Nice to see you from Madrid. Mental game is just as much a skill as strategy. You have to learn it over time, stick at it. True. And I think it's something that you have to keep doing. It's like going to the gym. You want to build up muscle, you got to build up mental game muscle. And it doesn't mean you just lift weights and you're done. You lift weights, you're consistent, you repeat again and again and again, and then you do see the improvements long term. It's also, it's one thing saying all that stuff, but like consciously you can have all those opinions, and until they develop subconscious, it's still difficult. I'm still very liable to feeling frustrated at times as well. And so it doesn't just disappear when you consciously know it. It takes a long time for some of that to process down to like actually your inner voice, if that makes sense. And that work just repeat, and then Any has a mental league. Welcome, Any, by the way. Nice to have you here around me. I have a mental league I was shown to have, which I think is rare. Oh, okay. You are welcome to share if you feel comfortable. I can't let maniacs and fishes exploit me. Struggling to find the fold buttons, I would guess. Or struggling to find a cool button, I don't know. Odd Sammy, vamos, papa. Lads is an Atletico fan. Bien. We're going to Luis Suarez. Mi amigo Luis. Firing you to the title. It's so close, isn't it? La Liga. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Dale Aces for a change. I think this is the 9th or 10th time we've had it today, which is insane. Okay, pretty easy flat. Don't expect him to have too much 2x and 5x bottom end, certainly not offsuit stuff. He's probably going to range C-bet. I think we have a pretty easy call. And, I mean, hopefully he jams. He'd snap checks, which feels pretty airweight to me. I'm trying to think, like, 5x would probably jam this. I don't think he's got 5x. I'm going to check this back. Hopefully he's got a hand like 8-9 and just value shoves here now. Or, I mean, 8-9's... Yeah, he could have 8-9 off. I think we'll just jam ourselves then. See if he wants to call off with... Kings, maybe? 7x? I don't really know. Good fold, sir. What he had? Maybe just gave up. Min bet, maybe? Just for the tilt factor? I think min bet's probably worse, though. Like, we just missed too much value. We'll shove for 5 BBs. We'll just flop a 10. GG. Okay, so Annie said, for example, today you met push any 2 type and called a queen 5 off because versus this range it's 45% equity. I was correct and lost anyway versus 7-2 off. I tilt when I make a correct exploit but backfires and wonder if he's shoving any 2, I can't enjoy it for a better hand that has more equity, as you said, strong hands over and realize equity. So you could have done that. I mean, when he's shoving any 2 and you call queen 5, like it depends a little bit on, I assume this is in the spin. It would depend a bit on your stack depth. I wouldn't start calling off queen high just because it's the best hand against his range. Just because you'll have a better spot in future if he's shoving any 2 cards, of course. Probably take something like at 20 plus bigs. Probably take something like 4s plus. And probably like ace 5 plus. I still think I'd fold ace 2 off just because of how badly it just doesn't have that much edge, and we have much better edge. And I'd obviously call like jack. Probably queen jack suited and king queen off and king jack off, stuff like that. That's not really the point. The point though is to what exactly is causing you to tilt there. So when you say you make I tilt when I make a correct exploit but it backfires, is the tilt that it's not fair that it backfired? Is the tilt that, because sometimes it can be tilting that like, I see what you're saying there. You're like, oh, maybe I should have waited for a better hand, and the tilt is maybe I made a mistake and that uncertainty. Normally, whatever is the source of tilt, a huge contributory factor is uncertainty, which makes everything lots worse. It generates some anxiety as well. You know, it sounds silly, but like you generate anxiety for like, oh, is this a shove or something? And the places I find most difficult is like when I don't know what to do. And I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do here. And then it's always like, oh, I hope this is the right thing. Whereas if I know that it's, let's say we had, I don't know, I mean, I know it's right to fold here. And if he turns up with whatever hand, I don't care. And I know it's right to shove here. And if he turns up with any hand, again, I don't. If he turns up with jacks, I don't mind. Jack 10 suited, I mind a bit. No, I don't. But we just chop, so justice, yeah. No, but that when we're uncertain, those are the elements where like things are tougher, emotionally to deal with. And so I think that's a really nice thing to think about: is what exactly is causing that tilt. Because once you identify it, then you need to actually hammer down a couple levels below, which can be something that I think is fun to do sometimes. La Liga's so tight, unfortunately. Oh, you know, I'm Liverpool. Hey, wait, can we see the... Well, I'm going to shove this and then I'm going to show the camera. Can we see the little Tomo? There we go. This is a Liverpool shirt. My boys. Top 4 is on. Maybe. Shout out to Leicester. Shout out to Newcastle, I should say.